All right, so this next subsystem is the intake, and overall it's pretty standard, I guess, except for the way that it's mounted. And this would be kind of impractical in like a real-life FTC build, but for a CAD challenge, I think it's pretty cool. So I guess we can start up here with housed inside this U channel, which is attached with just some flat stock. We've got another go build a, I think this is a 435, no, the 435, I don't know, it's a go build a motor, right? And that's essentially driving this sprocket right here through, you guessed it, a bevel gear set, like in the drive base. So that's going to be driving this upper sprocket right here, which is connected by chain, and I'm not doing chain because I chain CAD and I'm not that good at CAD. But so that's driving this this kind of feed shaft here in the center, and that basically shuttles with the wiffle balls as soon as they come in. It's just going to pop them up, and shadoop, they go up to the turret, which I'll get to later. But basically, this feed shaft is connected with another sprocket to this front intake spinny bit, and that's just got some of these tubes jammed through them, you know, the surgical tubing in a classic Rover Ruckus style intake system that, I don't know, it works well for wiffle balls, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. But basically, you can see that sprocket right here lines up with this front sprocket. And the way that we've mounted these are, if I go over here and highlight this shaft, right, that you can see what's highlighted here in the yellow is the drive shaft for one of the mecanum wheels, right? And so that's connected to this motor back here. And we've actually got the intake shaft free spinning on top of it. This orange thing right here, which I don't have properly color coded, whatever. It's a bearing, like a 14 millimeter outer diameter, 8 millimeter bearing with a 8 millimeter rec shaft on one side, and it's connected to this sprocket right here. So that drives up the what's it called, the gear ratio here, because we've got a really fast motor on this, and it's better if this is moving a little slower, especially since the surgical tubing it's effectively such a large diameter. We don't want that whipping around like crazy. Sorry for the background noise again. But basically, so as this is spinning, right, it's locked onto one of the round beams, which is another go builder thing. So basically this is a 10 millimeter beam with a bunch of mounting points and some screws at the end. And that's really useful if we wanted to lock it in place with this shaft clamp. So that lets us house these, 5 surgical tubing things, and they just spin around. Actually, I can do a quick demonstration. Deselect, and then so as this is spinning, come on, do it. Yeah, so that's spinning around whiz like this, right? And that's just inputting or intaking all of the wiffle balls at the front. And now we get to our second main custom piece. The first one was these water jet chassis thingies for the wheel mounts. Second one is just this big funnel. It's probably could be 3D printed. You need some supports in the back, but it does fit above the wheelbase, so we shouldn't have any terrain issues there unless there's something big in the center. But basically the intake pops the wiffle ball up onto there, and it gets shuttled up towards the turret, which I'll get to next.